All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a massive economic shift happening in the Philippines. It's not about the old idea of waiting for wealth to trickle down from the top. Nope, this is a revolution that's all about building prosperity from the ground up. I want you to really let this number sink in. 99.6%. That's the percentage of all businesses in the Philippines that are micro, small, or medium-sized. We're talking about the sari-sari store in your corner, the family-run car repair shop, the online business your cousin just started. They are the absolute backbone of the country's business landscape. Okay, so you've got that nearly 100% figure in your head, right? Now look at this, 40%. Even though these small businesses make up almost everything, they currently only power about 40% of the entire national economy. And that, right there, is the big puzzle we're trying to solve. How do we close that incredible gap? How do we finally unlock the huge, untapped potential of that 99.6%? Well, the answer requires a total pivot in strategy. Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll unpack what this 99.6% economy really is. Then, we'll break down the three main pillars of the national strategy. From there, we'll bring it home and talk about your part in all this, and how you can power up your own finances. And finally, we'll tie it all together with something called the multiplier effect. All right, first up, the 99.6% economy. Let's define this new approach and why it's such a big shift in focus. You know, bottom-up economics is pretty much what it sounds like. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start with the roof, right? No, you build a solid foundation first. Instead of just helping huge companies and hoping for the best, this strategy invests directly in the foundation, the small businesses, the local farmers, all of us, to make the entire economy stronger and way more resilient. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually do it? Well, the national strategy is built on a really clear blueprint that stands on three core pillars. And here they are. It all comes down to three key moves. Number one, helping small and medium businesses, or MSMEs, make a huge digital leap. Number two, modernizing our agriculture. And number three, spreading out the economic growth so it's not all stuck in one spot. Let's break each one down. So let's dive into pillar number one. This is all about tackling something called the digital paradox that our small businesses are facing. Now, this is fascinating. Look at this. There's this huge desire to go digital. A whopping 77% of business owners want it. But here's the paradox. Only 16% feel like they actually have the skills to pull it off. That's a massive gap between ambition and ability. The national plan aims to fix this with things like easier access to tech and better cybersecurity. Moving on to the second pillar. And wow, this quote really hits home. Agriculture is often called the Achilles heel of the economy. And why? Because it's so incredibly vulnerable. One bad typhoon, one climate shock, and the whole sector can shrink overnight. So what's the game plan? It's about shifting to what's called climate-smart agribusiness. And we're talking about real, on-the-ground stuff here, like finishing those super important farm-to-market roads and getting modern tools like drones and automated irrigation into the hands of farmers. And the payoff? It's huge. Food security for the nation, which means more disposable income in everyone's pocket. And the third pillar is all about making sure opportunity isn't just stuck in the capital. The strategy is to build up new growth corridors in other cities. By bringing things like high-speed internet to the provinces, we can stop the so-called brain drain, so talented people don't have to leave their hometowns to find great work. All right, so that's the big picture plan. But here's the thing, this is not a spectator sport. This is where you come in. Let's talk about the vital role you play in this whole thing. See, your daily choices have way more power than you might think. You can directly support that 99% every time you choose to buy from a local business. You can even act as a civic auditor, basically a watchdog for your community, by using public data to make sure local funds are spent right. You can even invest locally, putting your money directly behind Filipino farmers and businesses. Now, this is the best part. Helping the country and helping yourself, they're not two different things. They are two sides of the same coin. Let's look at how you can personally thrive as the economy makes this shift. If you want to power up your own wallet, the playbook is simple. First, pivot your skills. Level up in fields like AI, cybersecurity, or green energy. Second, diversify your income. Don't just be an employee. Think about joining the fractional economy. Become a specialist for hire. And third, get serious about financial literacy. Make your money work harder for you. And this slide just sums it all up perfectly. It's about a total mindset shift. The old way of thinking? You're an employee, focused on tasks for one boss. The new mindset? You are a solutions provider. You're focused on your expertise, an asset that you can offer to lots of different clients. Okay, so we've looked at the government's plan and we've seen your personal game plan. Now, for our final section, let's see how these two pieces fit together to create a powerful cycle called the multiplier effect. Just look at how this all works together. It's a perfect synergy, isn't it? A real partnership. The government lays down the high-speed internet, and you learn the AI tools to make the most of it. The government builds better roads for farmers, and you support them by buying their produce. Each side powers up the other. And this right here, this quote explains the magic of the multiplier effect perfectly. When a local farmer makes a bit more money, they don't just stash it away. They spend it at the local hardware store. That store owner then has more money to hire a local accountant, and the cycle just keeps going and going. That's how wealth is actually built from the community up. So, it all comes down to this. This bottom-up revolution isn't just some policy document. It's a huge, collective project built by millions of us, making small choices every single day. So the only question left is, what part are you going to play?